Hi, everybody. Welcome to English Digest. I'm Tom.
Hi, I'm Stephanie.
And it's our TOEIC unit for the month of October. And so we're going to be talking about a conversation today in which somebody calls the customer support department and they want to complain. And, of course, they ordered something and the order did not come in. There's a problem with the order, but they didn't tell her about it. So she's livid, she's angry, and she wants something done about it.
She is mad, so if you hear me sounding a little angry, I'm acting. Okay, people? I will be Victoria. She is really upset. I think all of us have experienced this at least once in our lifetimes. So, yeah, sometimes you order something and the company messes it up and, it's hard to be patient. I have some stories to share, but we'll talk about that later.
We certainly will, but we'll first of all listen to our conversation between Roger, who works for the Customer Support Department of AMC Technology, and Victoria Chen is calling in to complain. So let's listen to our conversation first, and then we'll come back to talk about it. Hello, this is AMC Technology's Customer Support Department. Roger speaking. How may I help you?
This is Victoria Chen calling from Crawford 3C in Taichung. I'd like to inquire about the status of my order. My store ordered 30 laser projection keyboards from you last month, and they should have been delivered yesterday.
I'm sorry about that. If you can confirm the order number for me, I'll check our system.
It's 4512/JK0. The purchase was made on September 13th.
Let me see. I understand what happened. There have been some manufacturing issues at the factory, so the shipment has been delayed.
Well, someone should have informed us as soon as possible. We're getting complaints from clients who have ordered the keyboards from us.
We're truly sorry for the delay, Ms. Chen.
Can you at least tell me when I can expect the order to arrive?
I'll find out the answer as soon as I can and let you know immediately.
That doesn't sound promising. I was hoping you could give me a concrete date.
I'm afraid we'll need to get in touch with the factory first.
Well, I have to say that I'm furious. I can accept that sometimes there are complications with deliveries, but your company should have been proactive with its communication.
Our company will offer you a 10% discount in compensation for the delay.
I should hope so.
Okay, let's get to it, everybody. Let's talk about today's unit, checking a late order. Somebody ordered something from a company, probably a mail order company, but the order is late. It has not come in on time. And if you're working in business and things like that, this could be very important. If you're a consumer and you just ordered a TV or something and it comes in late, well, it's probably no big deal. You'll just miss a couple of Netflix movies or something like that. But hey, this is the world of business here, and these devices are necessary for daily business. So here, Roger answers the phone. Victoria is calling in to complain, or at least to inquire about the status of her order. So Roger answers the phone. He says, "Hello, this is AMC Technology's Customer Support Department. Roger speaking. How may I help you?" Yeah, sometimes when you call a company, the people operating the phones have been given instructions as to what to say when the phone rings. They can't just say, "Wait." They can't just do that. Hello? They've actually got to say who they are to make sure that the caller has called the right place. And then you also have to say what your name is. And then you have to be polite. "What can I do for you today? How may I help you?"
Well, she introduces herself as well. She gives Roger her full name and tells him what company she's calling from and where she's located. So this is Crawford 3C. It's a company located in Taichung. We're going to find out it's a store. So the fact that they ordered things for a store means they've got customers that are waiting for those items. We're talking about some keyboards. We're going to get to that in a minute. But she says, I'd like to inquire about the status of my order. If you inquire about something, you're just asking for information about something from someone. So she's inquiring about the status. She's already placed an order. If you ask about the status, it just means what is the current situation right now? So because she ordered something, she's probably waiting for that order to arrive. So she was wanting to know, has it been shipped yet? Sometimes you find out they haven't even shipped it yet. It's been kind of frustrating this whole year, trying to get things, at least from abroad for me. I do buy things quite frequently from America, but it's been hard because of, CV-19. But it's frustrating when you find out they haven't been keeping you informed with the status of your order, which is something they should do, really.
Indeed, and of course they need to provide that information in person or perhaps give you a website that you can check on to check the status of your order. And she says that my store ordered 30 laser projection keyboards from you last month, and they should have been delivered yesterday. So these are modern devices here. They are laser projection keyboards. So projection refers to when you project something, like a slide projector, for example. I think you use those for PowerPoint presentations. It's a kind of device that shines light on a wall. You don't need to use a small computer monitor. You can actually look at a big screen, so hundreds of people in a room can see what you're doing. In this particular case, a laser projection keyboard is a device that I think it projects the light on the table or something.
It does, flat table.
Yeah, it can read your fingers where they're tapping. There's actually not really a keyboard there, but there are images of letters there in light on your table, and I guess that increases efficiency. You don't have to bring a keyboard with you. So yeah, the store wants to sell those laser projection keyboards, but the order has been delayed. It should have come in yesterday. The order should have been delivered yesterday.
So frustrating. Well, remember, Roger is in customer service, so he needs to be very sympathetic with the customer. So he apologizes, even though it's not his fault. He's representing his company, so he says, I'm sorry about that. He then wants her to confirm the order number for me, and he says he's going to check the system. All companies have computer files that contain all of the orders that customers place. So he wants to know what the order number is. So she gives it to him, 4512. You could just say slash or / JK, and that's not an O. Be careful not to confuse those two. The O is a little bit fatter, and then the 0 is a thinner circle. So, yeah, the purchase, she says, was made on September 13th. So she's getting a little anxious, I think, at this point in the phone call.
That's understandable here, and Roger's going to try to do what he can to help her understand the status of her order. So he says, well, let me see. And he reads the computer and tries to figure out what happened. And he says, I understand what happened. And then he goes on to explain the situation to Victoria. He says, there have been some manufacturing issues at the factory, so the shipment has been delayed. Okay, so if they're going to sell these devices, they need to first get them from the factory. For whatever reason, the factory is having some issues with the manufacturing process. Maybe some parts for the keyboards did not come in. Maybe several of their employees called in sick because they have the virus or something like that. For whatever reason, there are issues at the factory. There's some issues in the manufacturing process. So the shipment has been delayed. And here we've got shipment, which is a noun. It just refers to when you ship goods. Okay, all the goods that were supposed to come, that is the shipment, and it's been delayed. It's just not here yet. It probably hasn't even left the factory.
Now, the shipment can arrive through different means. It could come on a boat or a ship. Actually, ship is bigger. A ship, an airplane. You could even have a shipment come up from Kaohsiung, and it could be on a truck or maybe a scooter. There are different ways to ship products to customers. She says, well, someone should have informed us as soon as possible. I agree with this. they should have contacted their customers and said, hey, we're having a delay in our manufacturing process. The factory's having some issues, so we're sorry, but we have to change the delivery date. You know, if they're really in a rush, Tom, they might have said, cancel that order. I'll find the product somewhere else. So, yeah, you need to let your customers know what's going on.
You certainly do, but you know, this is a factory and they've got lots of orders from different stores and people and stuff like that. So they probably thought, oh, there's a factory delay? Gee, that means I have to make like 50 phone calls to tell people that there's a delay. And maybe they just didn't feel like doing it or it was going to take too much time. So for whatever reason, they did not inform the people of the delay. So again, the shipment has been delayed, but Victoria thinks that they should have informed her as soon as possible because they are getting complaints from clients because they ordered the keyboards and they're not coming in, and then we have to tell them, well, the keyboards haven't come in yet, so you're kind of caught in the middle there, and nobody likes that. Well, here, Roger, he says, we're truly sorry for the delay, Ms. Chen. I guess he doesn't really have anything else to say here. He's got to say he's sorry. He can't say, well, that's just tough, okay? If you don't like it, maybe you can order from somebody else. That would be extremely rude. And, of course, these people who answer phones are trained to be as polite as possible. So, yes, he apologizes to her. We're truly sorry for the delay, Ms. Chen.
Well, she says that doesn't sound promising. If something sounds promising, usually that's a positive word. It means that there's something that looks good in the future. It looks like that you might have some success. Maybe you have a promising relationship. It looks like maybe this guy you're dating is eventually going to ask you to marry him, or maybe you have a promising job prospect. You just went for an interview and it went really well and you think that you might get the job. But here, notice that Victoria says that doesn't sound promising. So it doesn't sound like it's going to turn out very well for them. She says, I was hoping you could give me a concrete date. Concrete, actually, guys, is some sort of material that builders use to create things that are very hard. For example, it's a building material. They mix up like broken stone, gravel, sand, cement, water, and then they pour it or spread it into molds, and then it just sets until it's very, very solid. For example, sidewalks are made out of concrete. So if you use it to talk about a concrete date, it just means that date that you expect something will never change. You can trust that it will always be that date. But it sounds like Roger doesn't have a concrete date for her because he's not sure what's going to happen.
Yeah, he needs to know for sure. He needs to contact the factory and ask them, you know, just when are those keyboards going to be shipped? Like what day and what time? I've got customers waiting here. I don't like to receive calls from people who are upset and who are angry.
Yeah, no kidding.
And so, of course, Roger should probably put some pressure on somebody there to give them some answers. And he goes on to say, I'm afraid we'll need to get in touch with the factory first. So, yeah, that's what they need to do. They need to call the factory and say, hey, where are those keyboards? When are you going to ship them out? I need to tell Victoria when she can receive those keyboards. So, yeah, they need to get in touch or they need to contact the factory first.
Yeah, there's some steps that have to be taken. Well, she says, I have to say I'm furious. Furious just means really, really, really angry. Not just a little upset. Very mad. So angry. So she says, I can accept that sometimes there are complications with deliveries. That happens. But your company should have been proactive with its communication. So let's look at this vocabulary word here, complications. Complication is a count noun. It just means something, some sort of difficulty that makes a situation not so easy to work out. So we'll often use this word. This isn't funny. We use this word a lot when a doctor performs an operation or someone has some surgery done. and things didn't go well during the operation, the surgeon will come out and say, "Oh, I'm sorry, but there were some complications. Some difficulties happened that they didn't expect." So she accepts that sometimes there are complications. Things don't always go smoothly. That's life. But she says they should have been proactive. If you're proactive, guys, you don't wait for other people to ask you to do something. You do it before they have to ask you.
And Victoria probably is a long-time customer. She's a valued customer. So she probably feels she's not being treated properly here because, yeah, they've had this relationship for a long time and you guys should have told us about the situation there. You should have thought of it. You should have grabbed the bull by the horns and taken control of this situation and given us a call or sent us an email or whatever. Roger is apologetic. He says, our company will offer you a 10% discount in compensation for the delay. So here we've got compensation as a noun. To compensate, that's the verb. That just means to make up for something. If something is missing something, then you try to find something to replace it. So in compensation here just means, well, you've had to suffer, so we need to do something for you to help you out to make up for our mistake. And Victoria finishes the conversation by saying, I should hope so. I certainly hope so. Indeed, you should offer a 10% discount in compensation for the delay. That's the least you could do. I bet she expects an even bigger discount than that. 10%? That sounds like peanuts to me. But in any case, that brings us to the end of our explanation for today. It's time now to listen to our Chinese teacher.
谢谢美语老师。Hello, my name is Shelby. 今天单元和大家看一看一个不好的订货经验，或万一迟到了，就是一个 late order. Late 迟到晚到，这形容词很好用。例如说，迟交作业 a late homework. 28、9岁就是 in his late 20s. 好 ，Roger 呢是 AMC 科技公司的员工，电话回答顾客讯息。Victoria 打电话进来，我们到 Victoria 第一个对话，她说：“我是 Victoria Chen， 我想 Inquire 我的订货状态。”动词 Inquire 询问，用法 Inquire about something 或者是 Inquire into something 询问某事。在学测英文中 Inquire容易与另外两个动词混淆。第一个是 require, R-E-Q-U-I-R-E, 要求。另外一个 acquire, A+Q-U-I-R-E, 获得。不妨留心一下。我订了30个雷射投影键盘，还没到。They should have been delivered yesterday. 昨天应到而未到。时态呢，我们用过去完成被动，假设语气 deliver 是递送的意思。Roger 呢就回应并询问订单编号 confirmed the order number. Confirm 证实，例如说 we confirmed a rumor, 我们证实了谣言。有人也建议说 make sure, 但是老师认为两者还是有差异。 make sure 指务必要做到，例如说 make sure it is clean, 确保它是干净的，口气和用法不尽相同。 Victoria 说这采购是9月13日 purchase 购买，可以当名词或动词，可以加个 make a purchase 变成惯用语购买。又例如加个 of， 例如说 the purchase of a piano 买架钢琴。下一句 Roger 就接着说 Let me see 我看看。我知道了，工厂有一些制造上的问题，所以出货被延迟了。 There have been用完成式来表达已经有…… some manufacturing issues 制造上的问题。其中呢 issue 这个字当名词的时候表示问题、争论，例如说 on international issues 国际问题， financial issue 财务争议。 My dad has an issue with me 我爸爸对我有意见。那 Victoria 很生气，要早点通知，她收到很多抱怨，接着又说何时可到货啊？ Roger 回应知道答案会立刻通知。我们到 Victoria That doesn't sound promising 这句 sound 听起来，后面加形容词或者分词。 或者是 like 加名词，像点点点。Promising 有希望的，比较级 more promising， 最高级 most promising。句子用否定，听起来不太妙哦，所以 Victoria 接着要求一个 concrete date， concrete 具体的或者是混凝土。Roger 说他必须要先 get in touch with the factory， 惯用语 get in touch with somebody or something， 表示接触某人或某事。Touch 可用 contact C-O-N-T-A-C-T 来取代，例如I get in contact with my lost friends. 我和久违的朋友联络。Victoria 说 I have to say that I'm furious. Furious, 狂怒的。借机我们来看一下生气的形容词，以生气程度、生闷气，例如 sullen, S-U-L-L-E-N, 有点生气 upset, annoyed, 或者 displeased. 生气 mad 或 angry.非常生气，就是这里的 furious 或者 rage R-A-G-E 等。Victoria 继续说，我能接受有时候 there are complications. Complication 混乱 To make complications 就是制造难题。动词 complicate 使复杂化 C-O-M-P-L-I-C-A-T-E 但你们公司应该要更积极主动Should have been proactive 完成被动式，以假设语气来表达过去应做而未做。Proactive 先发制人的，例如 taking proactive measures 采取主动的措施。Roger 听到后表达善意，下一句后面就说他会折扣 10% in compensation for the delay。 Compensation 补偿或者赔偿金In compensation for something 作为对什么的补偿，也可以用动词的形式 to compensate for the delay 来表达。Victoria 最后说 I should hope so 我希望如此，口气无奈又带着余怒。好，以上是今天的讲解，谢谢收听。
We're going to take a quick break. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Okay, welcome back, everybody. We're going to talk about some useful expressions that perhaps we learned in today's lesson, and we're also going to have a couple of discussion questions. So first of all, we're going to talk about these useful expressions here, and they all have to do with complaining. Sometimes when we go out to a restaurant or if we do business with somebody, we want things to go smoothly, and for the most part they do, but sometimes we're not satisfied.
Yeah.
And we need to tell somebody that we're not satisfied. We need to complain. We need to make a complaint to let them know that their service was poor or their product was poor so that they won't do it again. So here we have some phrases here. Stephanie, why don't you take the first one here?
Here it is, guys. I have a complaint to make. That's pretty clear that whoever is speaking to you is upset or isn't satisfied with something. Some people are really great when a product breaks or they're not happy with something and they go to customer service. Some people are very kind and patient, while others are kind of mean. One thing you'll often hear if you're in customer service is someone who says, I want to talk to your manager. You know, which is very disrespectful. It just gives that person the idea that they don't have any power or ability to satisfy you, so they want to talk to an important person. But try to be as kind as possible. If you work in customer service, it's a tough job, and you hope that people will be kind.
And there are other ways to say this, too. You could say, I'd like to make a complaint, or simply, I want to complain, okay? Or as you said, I'd like to speak to your manager. And here's the example sentence. It says, I was expecting a delivery of several monitors 2 days ago, but they haven't arrived. So that is the complaint that the person wants to make. In this particular case, some monitors have not arrived yet. They were supposed to arrive 2 days ago. That's a bummer there. Here's the second way to express dissatisfaction or to complain. There seems to be a mistake, or you could say there seems to have been a mistake with my order. So yeah, you received the order, you open the box or whatever, and you realize that something's wrong. Uh-oh, they didn't give me the whole thing, or they gave me the wrong model, or this is something totally different from what I ordered. So yeah, I purchased a blue dress from your online store, but the one I received was red. Yeah, blue dress. Okay, you want to have a blue dress to give to your wife or your girlfriend as a present, but her favorite color is blue. It's not red. If I give her a red dress, she's going to be really angry.
I like this one because it's a little nicer because you don't just say, hey, you made a mistake. It says there seems to be a mistake, which actually lets them know you think there's a problem, but you don't want to be too mean or angry. It could be your mistake. It could be the person who ordered the dress chose the wrong color themselves. So be careful with that. Sometimes you're the one who made the mistake and not the store. Number 3, hi, I need to let you know there's been a mistake with my order. This one sounds very nice.
Sounds very polite indeed. I'd like to let you know that there's been a mistake with my order. I purchased 30 new office chairs, but only received 3. So, yes, indeed, there are levels of politeness or meanness depending on the situation. If you're really mean with somebody, maybe you'll get faster results. If you're too nice, maybe they'll think, oh, this person is a pushover. I don't need to really listen to them. So I guess you do need to sound assertive to a certain point, and you shouldn't sound like you're letting people walk all over you. But this third one here is quite polite. Yeah, I need to let you know that there's been a mistake. And, of course, hopefully these problems will get taken care of. Now, here are our discussion questions for today. The first one is, have you ever had a problem with a late delivery? What did you do about it?
Yeah, the last time I went home, I had ordered some things from Amazon, and the order was really delayed. It wasn't Amazon's fault either, it was customs. It got stuck in customs here. But I had ordered a special dress because we had a big party. I never got the dress before I had to leave. And I also ordered some good headphones so that it would cancel out noise while I was on board the plane. I didn't get that either. So yeah, sometimes it just doesn't work out. It wasn't customs' fault. It wasn't Amazon's fault. It was just life. And so I tried to be patient. What about you, Tom?
For the most part, my orders have come in properly and quickly, but sometimes there have been problems. Like years ago, I ordered some CDs from an online store called CD Now, which of course is long gone. But in one order, they just didn't send me my Warren Zevon CD. It just wasn't there. I was not happy about that. I sent them an email, and about a week later, I received the missing CD. Okay, that brings us to the end of our discussion for today. And we'll be back next time to talk some more about this very subject. We've got some kind of a form here and some letters all about making a mistake. So please join us then. From all of us here at English Digest, I'm Tom.
I'm Stephanie.
Goodbye.
Bye.